Hey guys, I'm the Red Feather Ranger. This is Colorado Contingency.
Oh, misfire.
So what is Colorado Contingency? First and foremost, we're a training group. Our goal here is to develop capable men for the civil response of the incalculable future. So what does that mean? That means we take people from all skill levels and we present them on a platform so that they have the opportunity to learn and educate. We have people from all backgrounds, ranging from maybe kids that were, I should say kids, men that when they were kids were scouts, all the way up to dudes that are highly trained special forces guys that are no longer in the military. It's important to note that everybody has something to offer here. So even if you don't think you have something that you could educate others on, I guarantee you do. And we simply want to promote that. The reason that we're doing this is to build up resiliency in our communities. You know, going back to the mission statement of the incalculable future, it's interesting to look at the world and see all the craziness that's happening, and pointing over there and saying, wow, that's crazy, look at that happening over here. And historically it's happened right here. So for example, we've had riots, we've had fires, we've had floods, natural disasters, all sorts of interesting things that have happened right here. And in your own state, I'm sure you can attest to things that have happened around you as well. So our goal is simply to build a more resilient community, to in a way develop some people that are maybe capable of going out into leadership roles, maybe possible just being amazing assets in their own community. So back to what I was saying a minute ago about everyone has something to educate. So even if you show up and you have absolutely nothing, you show up with nothing. You don't even need a rifle. I guarantee you there's something that you can teach us on. Maybe you've done something like foraging. Maybe you've done something like some basic mechanic work. Maybe you have a solid understanding of how maybe social media works, so you can help us with social media, or educate on others on the dangers of social media. It's just an example. We also have individuals that are highly skilled and highly trained that have been to the places and done the things, and we rely on them primarily for the tactical side of training. But it's important to note that a big part of this is not tactical training. I know I'm in my camo right now. I decided to make this video while taking a little ruck, so ignore that. But it's important to note that we just want to educate everybody on as much as we can to simply build a more resilient community. So what are some of the things that we teach here? So some of the stuff we teach is going to be the infantry tasks. So we're talking land navigation, basic marksmanship to include carbine, pistol, precision long range. We're going to cover basic infantry tactics, radio communications. Eventually we're moving into closed mesh networks and stuff like that. And then outside of the cool guy tactical recce, we're moving into things like long-term food storage, seaver and stuff. Like, should God forbid there be something like a chemical attack, or maybe there's riots in downtown and you have to escort your family through, are they capable and ready and understanding of how those compounds work and with gas masks and stuff like that? Another thing that we're talking about is how to address your gear properly, how to distribute weight on your body for rucking, which is stuff that translates to camping and other aspects. So other than what we're going to teach, which that's just the surface level stuff, I'm sure in time we'll go into more in depth on those topics as well as others. So how is COCON organized? So Colorado Contingency COCON is organized into two groups. We have a northern task force and a southern task force. The northern task force is Task Force Redtail, and the southern task force is Task Force Bighorn. Why do we do this? The reason that we separate into two task forces is simply for ease of training. We know that not everyone can show up to every training, especially if it's 3-4 hours away from them. Um, they have families, lives, kids, gas money. Let's be real, finances are an issue for most of us. We're all budgeting in some capacity. So we broke it up into two task forces. So no matter what, once a month at a minimum, and sometimes more, there will be training in either region. Um, it helps us out to also like put a 6 month schedule in advance. So should you join CoCon, we're also going to make sure that you guys know well in advance when training is and where it's at, what time, right uniform, right place, that kind of stuff. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much who we are and what we do. So my question for you guys is, what do you guys want to see as far as content here on the YouTube page? In the works so far, I have some stuff planned about around land navigation, some cold weather training stuff, like how to lay your clothes properly and whatnot. We also are going to do some basic radio stuff. We'll poke around with some bow things. They're not the best option, but they're, affordable and they do what they do. So we'll talk about that in the video. We're going to talk about some basic gear setup. I'll cover my gear, and eventually we'll start covering some of the other members of CoCons, so you guys can kind of get a look at what they do. We can talk about some other stuff like OP operations, observation posts. We can start talking about some basic cover, concealment, camouflage. Those are some of like the kind of topics we'll cover here. But yeah, tell us what you guys want to see on the CoCon page, and we'll be glad to oblige if we can. But so far, thanks for coming, and we appreciate you checking us out. Have a good one.